What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Wednesday, January 27th. We're coming out the box strong as death. Listen, the Super Bowl is the big game and it's in 2 weeks. But after that, you know what the big game is? Valentine's Day. It's time to get that cock out of fucking quarantine. I know people haven't gotten laid in a fucking year. But first, you gotta trim it up a little bit. You gotta fucking debink. You gotta put some pink paint on the helmet. It's all fucked up. It's like a spooky fucking house. But what you need to do is let my friends at Manscaped treat your fucking package like the gift that it is. And give your ladies something to unwrap. A big fucking beautiful cock. You understand me? Trimming your balls used to be scary. But with Manscaped, I'm an artist now. And you know my balls are fucking famous. It's nice and easy. Right here. You just press that button. And there you go. The Lawnmower 3.0. The best trimmer known to fucking man. You could use it anywhere. It goes into nooks and crannies, places that you got hair that you don't even fucking know. But it starts right now today. You got to go to manscaped.com, press in code Joey. What they do is they got a tremendous package that I fucking preach to everybody. It comes with the Lawnmower 3.0, the best trimmer known to mankind. They throw in the crop preserver. Plus, they throw in these little packages. I'm all out of them. The ball wipes, you put them in your wallet, just in case you want to give somebody a sniff on the move. And now, Manscaped has a cologne. So you put some on your neck, some on your nutsack. Listen, you're going to be ready for Valentine's Day. Let Manscaped help you out. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/Joey. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com/Joey. It's time to make February 13th International Trim Your Ballsack fucking Day by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/Joey and get your party started. Now that you got your balls clean for Valentine's Day, now you got to show up with a dick that works. That's where Uncle Joey comes in again. The joint is brought to you by BlueChew. Listen, it's winter. Things are tough all over. But if you pop a fucking BlueChew, I can tell you one thing's going to be looking up. Your fucking cock. That fucking cock helmet, that eyeball, is going to be fucking ginormous. She's not going to know what to do when you take that fucking dick out. First of all, the Manscaped's going to trim it. And then BlueChew's going to help you get that fucking dick. You're going to, listen, that one-eyed soldier is the stimulus check all these freaks are waiting for. Nobody wants to show up with a limp dick. Even if your dick works fully, you might as well go in there with the big, you want to have a Rambo dick. You understand me? Right? With bows and arrows, explosives. That's what you're giving at. That's what you get with BlueChew. Same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. What are you going to do? What are your options? Buying it at some fucking liquor store? BlueChew is fucking science. BlueChew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't got to go to the doctor's office and get the Maloik eye and then fucking wait online at the fucking pharmacy. And it ships to your door just in a discreet package. Nobody knows. It's not like an envelope with a big pink dick on it and your fucking mailman knows you got fucking soft dick. No. BlueChew is also cheaper than a pharmacy, and you can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. Now, right now, today, Wednesday the 27th, they got a special offer so you can start slinging dick today, and by the 14th, you'll be back up to fucking par. Visit BlueChew.com. That's Blue, B-L-U-E, Chew.com, and get your first shipment free. Joey, what are you talking about? Get your first shipment for free. All you got to do is pay the $5 shipping. And again, that's Blue, B-L-U, like the color of a face when you put your dick in a fucking monkey. And it's going to be popping off. You understand me? That's what happens when you show up at BlueChew, dog. BlueChew.com. Use code Joey. Joey. And we thank them for continuing to sponsor Uncle Joey's joint. Let's get this fucking show started. We got Manscaped and we got BlueChew. You cannot go wrong. Hey, look who it is. What's happening?
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's happened, you bad motherfuckers? It's Wednesday, January, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know anymore. I'm so sick of the fucking date. I just say a date to remind myself what fucking day it is. What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Everything's good. The stitches are out, so we're 3/4 there. I got a little fucking stitch story for you. So I fucking, I'm fine. All weekend I'm fine. I do my exercise. I go to PT. Monday morning I got to go to PT and I got to get my stitches taken out. It was the other way around though on Monday morning. I had to go get my stitches taken out and then go to PT. I'll tell you, when I woke up Monday morning, I knew it. Like sometimes you wake up and you're like having one of those days. Now, I've been sleeping fucking phenomenal lately. The best sleep I've been getting the last 2 years has been since I've gotten this surgery downstairs. I've had a couple rough nights, like the beginning was a couple rough nights. I didn't know how to time the medication, the pain, shit like that. But the last week, I've been getting some fucking good sleep, a couple fucking power naps, shit like that. But I get up Monday morning and I'm just not feeling it. I can't call the doctor and tell him I can't go down there to take the stitches. I'm just beside myself with fear. I don't know why. You know me, it comes out of nowhere. Anxiety with me comes out of nowhere. I'm feeling fucking crazy, a little ubats. I take a shower, I eat breakfast, I put my daughter in the car, the whole fucking thing. She goes to school, and then me and my wife head there. I get in the car, and I go, hold on 1 second, to my wife. She goes, why? I go, this anxiety or whatever the fuck I'm going through is making me want to go to the bathroom. She goes, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to the bathroom and be a couple minutes late? I go, you know what? It's right there on the tip. I think I can hold it in. I'll be fine. I go, I'm going to be fine. So I get down to the doctor's office. For some reason, guys, I get myself all worked up. We all do, but I get myself super worked up when it comes to fucking needles. I go upstairs, I check in, you have to fucking text, and then they fucking tell you when to come upstairs, and then she calls me instead. She goes, come upstairs. I come upstairs. As soon as I walk in, I'm just not feeling it. I'm fucking hot. I got a hooded sweatshirt on and a sweatshirt. It's cold out and it's layers, so I got a t-shirt, a hooded sweatshirt, and a hooded sweatshirt on top of that. I talk to the guy. One of the guys listens to the podcast. I talk to him. I say hello. I say hello to the girls. I sit down. He goes, the doctor will be with you in a couple minutes. I go, listen, how much are these staples going to hurt to get taken out? Now, I ain't got like 10 staples. I got like a fucking row of fucking staples. So whatever it's going to be, I'm already getting anxiety just telling you motherfuckers the story. Whatever it's going to be a couple fucking minutes. So I asked the guy, and the guy goes, it won't hurt, especially since you had him in for 2 weeks. It'll be a little easier to take him out. He goes, the doctor's going to come in and talk to you for a few minutes, and then we'll pull him out. I go, fine. I'm just sitting in the regular chair. They take my blood pressure. It's okay. Everything's fine. My oxygen levels are fine. My pulse is on the money. Woo, tremendous. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and I'm just working myself up. And finally, a doctor comes in. I look at him. I go, what's going on, doc? And he's like, let me look at the stitches. He goes, oh, the swelling went down. You look good. Let me see you move it around. And he looks up at me. He goes, what's the matter with you? And I go, doc, I'm just not feeling it. I think I'm going to pass out. He goes, your skin color is as white as the mask. My skin color just went white. And I started fucking sweating, right? So I go, can you get me some water? He goes, I knew you had a hard time with the surgery in the beginning, but you did fine. I go, I'll be fine. Let me just drink the water. And I start drinking the fucking water. And, oh my God, this is terrible. I just get this feeling that I'm going to pass out and everything's spinning. In fact, when he got up, there was 2 of them. Like, when he came in, there was 1 of them, but when he got up, there was 2 of them. I'm like, I'm going to fucking faint. So I got to do what I usually do. I just got to take the bull by the horns. He goes, the water's going to come in and then get on the big table. We'll pop it up for you, lay back, and he'll take the fucking stitches out, right? So I put my little Santana on. That's my music for needles and shit. And I lay back. And he's taking the fucking thing. He starts taking them out, guys. And it's just like little needles. But everyone is just impacting me. Like everyone. It's like little acupuncture needles. They ain't shit. Guys, between us, it doesn't hurt at all. like a normal person would go, Joey, what is wrong with you? Because it's me, I'm like, I. And I got the fucking Santana on, and I'm I into myself. And I look at the guy looks at me, he goes, how we doing? And he goes, you're sweating. And I go, I know I'm sweating, I'm fucking dying here. He goes, if it makes you feel better, I can't go over bridges. He goes, I can't go into Staten Island, I can't go into New York, or I can't go into Jersey, I'm stuck, because I have a fear of bridges. So I'm like, holy fuck. But when somebody tells you their card, it makes you feel a lot better, you know what I'm saying? So it calmed me down a little bit. It didn't calm me down all the way. It just calmed me down a little bit. And I'm like, oof, oof. And he's pulling them out, and he's hitting the tin with them. Because they're going to the tin, and I'm hearing ding, dink, dink. And to myself, I'm like, one of these fucking dinks gonna stop. One of these dinks gonna end. I didn't look at my leg one time. I just kept looking away and shit. And fucking, I had my earphones on, and I'm like, and I'm still hearing the dinks. And I'm like, one of these dinks gonna fucking stop. And finally, I felt him by my knee. And he goes, you're done, Mr. Diaz. And he goes, how you feeling? He goes, you don't look good. I go, I don't look good. I don't feel good. Let me just finish my water. And I'm drinking my fucking water. And he goes, this is what we're going to do. I want you to sit here for about 10 minutes. You're not going to go anywhere. I don't want you to get up. You have nowhere to go. I'll call physical therapy, tell them you're going to be late. Just sit here for about 10 minutes and wait for this to come down, and then we'll let you leave. Is that okay with you? And I go, yeah, I'll be okay in 10 minutes. He's not out of the room 1 minute, and I feel a missile from here just come, like an adrenaline missile, just come down, and it's just a little explosion fart, like a bloop. But dog, it was right there. That shit I had to take when I got in the car with my wife was in my asshole, ready to get served. I could hear it percolating. It was percolating in my ass. But I'm dying, right? I'm half fucking dying. Like, I'm like, oh. But it was between fainting even harder or shitting. Dog, I said, I'm not going to faint and shit my pants. That's definitely not going to happen. Out of somewhere, I just got the strength. I just opened my eyes. I picked my leg over. I threw it over the fucking table. And they looked at me like, what are you doing up? I go, dog, I got to go to the bathroom. And I think out of the three of them, the doctor, the nurse, and the male nurse, I think the male nurse was like, hurry up. Because he knew it was it was a pure adrenaline shit. I fucking flew in that bathroom, and 22 chunks of shit just came flying out like I was bombing a country with shit. Da, 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 da. I had to flush like 3 times. It smelled so bad in that fucking bathroom. I had to open the door. Thank God there was nobody in the waiting room. So I go back, and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay now. They thought like I probably vomited or something. They didn't know it was the quickest shit of my life. It just flew out. I think it was one wipe, and I was done. So when I went back to sit down, I went to put my sneakers on. The guy goes like, nah. You're still pale. I'm trying to get the fuck out of there before the shit comes out of that bathroom and it starts reeking all over that fucking office. I left it like a little open. I left the fart fan. But it was out where the patients were sitting. So there was only like 2 patients back then. They were both against the wall. So I tried to put my sneakers on or try to get ready. I had to put my sweatshirt on and my hooded sweatshirt back on. And also I'm talking to the doctor. He's telling me about he's got to give me another prescription for therapy and another prescription for some fucking pills for anti-inflammatory. And dog, I'm standing in the hallway, and all of a sudden I could actually smell my shit from 10 minutes early, and it's fucking thick. It's fucking thicker than death. I fucking took those prescriptions, and before any of those women in that front office could smell it, I tore ass out of that fucking office, and I ran to the fucking, I told my wife, I go, let's get out of here, before they figure out I destroyed that fucking bathroom. It was embarrassing as fuck, but somebody's got to do it. That's the Wednesday morning shit story I wanted to lay on you. You know we always lay some type of shit story on you. There was one last week, because they give me these pills at 7:30. I got to take them. I think I got 4 left. They're like 2 to break, because all the drugs you're eating make your stomach get all full and shit like that. So this, I don't know what it's called.
Constipation.
Yeah, what's it called?
Constipation.
Constipation from the pills. This missile shoots right through the constipation. Who gives a fuck? I figured we'd open up with a little cha-cha just to break the ice. You know what I'm saying? It's Wednesday. We got to go. Who's going to be uptight? Did you get your vaccine yet? No. Who gives a fuck? You're still going to die. Who gives a fuck? Anyway.
Eventually.
Everybody now with the fucking vaccine, it's not enough. The school teachers ain't getting them. It never fucking ends. It never fucking ends. At least we got ourselves, we got our lives, our minds, and our own hearts and stories. I got an email on Patreon the other day. That was pretty interesting, and we'll discuss it. It was, how do you know, did you ever feel karma being served? He goes, because right now I'm going through a bad streak, and I ran wild for years like you did. I want to know if you ever felt karma while it was being served. And the question took me back for a second. I'm like, fuck yeah. You know, I went on a roll, you know, jerk off wise, from the time my mother died to the time I got arrested. When I got arrested, that was karma being served and then some. And I knew it. I knew it when I was sitting in that jail cell, that this is for all the sins I did, blah, blah, blah. When I ended up going to prison, and I got sentenced to prison, I made a constant effort while I was in there that this was, I had a new start. I had a new beginning, you know, which is always great to know that you have a fucking, I'm sorry about my eye. I got one eye that's up here and one that's like here. I'm like a junior cyclops. I don't know if I put too much Visine in one growing up. I don't know what the fuck's going on in my eye. But I noticed that the other day in one of the videos, when in between me going out on bail and me getting sentenced from December of 87 to August of 88, I did feel the karma being served. Everything, a lot of bad shit happened to me. My house got robbed. I got arrested. I got arrested for shoplifting. I fucking ripped my arm open. I needed a bunch of stitches in my arm. I never got the stitches because I'm a pussy. But I ripped my arm open. The stories are endless. It was just karma being fucking served, you know? And there's things I think about today and I go, when am I going to pay for that thing that I did back then? You know, I mean, at least I'm on. This is why a couple weeks ago I did a podcast, and after I did the podcast, I was mad because, you know, so what? Some kid steals some fucking videos from me. You know, I'm going to be mad and do a podcast and yell on a podcast. That's fucking hypocrisy, Joe. For years, you stole videos like a mother. Well, I didn't steal videos, but, you know, by the time I was stealing videos weren't nothing to steal. I didn't steal no videos. But you understand my point, that I'm a hypocrite because I got pissed because some kid was stealing videos. For years, I stole everything that wasn't super glued down, and all of a sudden, I'm mad, you know. So I felt that those 9 months, karma was being served. I did pay for a lot of my sins. A lot of shit, a lot of skeletons that I had in the closet came out, you know, like little personal issues that nobody really knows about, that we all know about ourselves, that we can't control, came out, you know. I felt it being served, you know. But it's so weird also when you serve up karma. It just feels great when somebody has fucked with you, or somebody has wronged you, or somebody has done something to you in the past, and you take the high road. You take the high road, but still karma's still going to, even if you take the, listen, when it comes to somebody messing with you or somebody doing something wrong to you, like the things I did to people all those years, there's no high road. You know, you could either take the low road and keep being a fucking jerk off, or be a high road and apologize. What I'm trying to explain, that there's no fucking, you know, when you're waiting for karma to get served, there's no high road. Expect the worst. You expect the fucking worst, you know. Last week I told you about when the girl fell off the bike and shit like that. I still think about what if my daughter falls off the bike? Is that going to be karma served for that? So do you understand me? I have a lot coming to me. I've done a lot of good things, and I've helped a lot of people that I wasn't supposed to help. I've helped them out of the kindness of my heart to kind of even out the game a little bit, to even out my karma. But I'm definitely a big-time believer in karma. And even when you don't want to serve it, there's times you serve it. Like there's times you might have a misunderstanding with somebody, and you didn't take it that wrong, but the people around you took it wrong. And years later, you get the opportunity to fucking stab the dude or whatever. I was thinking about this story the other day. I was telling you about a guy a couple weeks ago called Jim Wheeler. That when I got out of bail, he got married, and there were people that were going to his wedding that didn't want me at his wedding, so they didn't come, and he sent them the gift back. Jim Wheeler was my dog. Jim Wheeler knew I was a wild man. Jim Wheeler and Joe Rogan are basically a lot of the same person, the way they treated me. With Jim Wheeler, he knew I was a wild man, and he knew that I was going to be crazy, but he respected my car sales ability. He respected what I did, my hard work. He respected me when I worked. When I went to sell cars, I fucking worked. I went out there on the lot, I wrote letters, I made phone calls, I followed through. My day was a lot different than a lot of other guys, even though I was a fucking junkie. And when it came to comedy, listen, I'm a fucking criminal. Joe Rogan's never even been arrested. Joe Rogan's never been inside of a prison. Joe Rogan's never inside of a county jail, inside of a cell. Joe Rogan's never done cocaine. Joe Rogan's never done a drug. You ask yourself, why does a guy like Joe, or why would somebody like Jim Wheeler hang out with me? Because they have respect for how I, held myself up in comedy. With Joe was comedy. Me and Joe have the same mentality towards comedy. It's all a fucking nothing. You got to commit. You got to write. You got to get out there every night. There's no fucking excuses. And that's it. And that's how you get my respect when it comes to comics. With Jim Wheeler, he liked me because, he, whatever. When you're in the car business, you move around a lot. Stores go hot. Stores go cold. Pay plans, a new general manager comes into a store and he changes things around. The life of a car dealer is they move around like every 6-9 months. Every once in a while they catch a break for 3 or 4 years at a nice dealership, but they move around. My man Big Joe over in St. Louis, Joey Filato, he moves around every 2 years. Sometimes he's doing F&I, which is finance. Sometimes he's just a closer. It just depends what type of deal they close. It's not that they're bad people, that they're moving around. They got to support a family. In Jimmy Wheeler's case, he had 2 kids. They had to support a family. So he got me that job. To start this story off, we got to talk about Jim Wheeler. He's the one that gave me the job in the Subaru place. After I got out of prison, I didn't sell a car the whole month of December, and he had to let me go. But throughout that, he always had a job for me, okay? Jim Wheeler always had a job for me. So forget about Jim Wheeler. Forget about Joe Rogan. I'm going to take you to October of 83. I was living in Snowmass Village, and my roommate is Jimmy Burkle, God rest his soul. And at night, 3-4 nights a week, I was 20 at the time. So I didn't turn 21 till 84. So I really couldn't go to bars in Colorado when I first got there. Yeah, I looked older, and I had fake IDs and stuff, and I snuck into bars. But I didn't want to go to bars. I didn't want to go all the way up to Aspen. And there was a couple bars in Snowmass that you go to. But during the week, we kept it light. We went to this hotel called the Crestwood. The Crestwood had the coolest fucking staff at the time. Plus, they had a section for employee housing where all the employees lived. And it was just a fucking party. Couples, couple girls, couple guys. Always a great time. The leader of that whole fucking clique up there was a guy by the name of Vince Hall. He's dead now. Rest in peace. Great guy from North Carolina. He must have been about 40. To me, I was 20. He was just an old fucking man. But I respected him. I liked him. He was into fishing, a lot of fishing. So he'd go fishing 5-6 days a week. And he cooked fish out on the grill for us. And it was me. And in 83, I didn't work there. In 83, I worked around Snowmass. And I would go to the Crestwood at night. The employee housing was on the corner of, it was at the end, all the way at the end of all the condos. They had like their own, maybe 2 floors. And they had a jacuzzi outside of that condo. And we had like a little gated area. And then we had a yard back there. I mean, it was all wilderness back there. It was a ski resort back there. What am I saying? So we hung out there a couple nights a week. We'd meet by the jacuzzi at 7. We'd just jacuzzi, bring up a couple joints, bring up a few beers, and just bullshit, We were all in our 20s, 21. There was a couple cliques. There were a couple of us. There was 10 dudes from like Monroe, Louisiana. One dude worked there, so his friends all hung out with him. And there was some other dudes from Mankato, Minneapolis. They were badass motherfuckers. They lived 17 to an apartment. There was 17 of them in a 2-bedroom apartment in my building, in Creekside Apartments, in D building. They lived on the 3rd floor. They all had jobs, and they all just lived they all lived in an apartment just to ski, because they were never there. They all had 2 jobs. They all worked in the ski on the slope in the morning, and then at night they'd work at a restaurant or retail. Everything was about skiing. Everything was about skiing with those guys, and jumping off cliffs and mountain diving and fucking going, when you raft in the summer. These guys were fucking cool. The dudes from Mankato, one of their guys worked for a rafting company. So if you were bored, you'd go rafting on Saturdays on the fucking arm. And the other guys, they were just great guys. They also worked for all the other ski resorts. So we all had passes from different mountains. It was just great being 20 up there. But during the week, it was us, me, Carl, this guy Kip. He had a friend from Chico, California. There was no girls that hung out with us. I could lie to you and tell you there was bitches. There was no bitches. It was just like 6 or 7 guys. There was maybe some of the girls that worked at the hotel. Vince, me, Carl, and these guys. And we would go there and talk shit. And we would go home by 9:30. It would get cold and we'd go home. Then there was another group of guys that were like 25s to 26s. And that guy's name was Doug. And he hung out with a guy, Mikey. And they had another guy, I forget what his name was. He was like a Viking-looking motherfucker and shit like that. And they were okay with us. And then there was another crew that worked at the hotel, and they were between 28 and 32. I remember one of them, I forget what his name was, like Steve, but I still remember being in a closed room with him. And he was like an adult. I'm fucking 25. I'm 21. He's a fucking adult. We're all 21-year-olds. And he's like, I wonder what Van Halen is going to sound like with Sammy Hagar. I'm so excited about that. I'm like, you're 29 years old. What are you excited about? Well, you're a fucking old man. What? Can you imagine? I'm like telling him an old man. Now I'm 58. I'm fucking twice his fucking age. And I'm telling him, I go, you're a fucking old man. You should be out doing shit, worrying about Sammy Hagar. What the fuck is wrong? But he was a good guy. He was one of the dudes that I went to Denver with when we rented the plane. It was me, Cato, Carl, and this guy that said, they used to always say, set the herb band free. That's all the dude would say. He was a white dude. And every time you'd see him, he'd say, let's set the herb band free. So he hung out in that crew too. And they were all nice guys. We were all very nice. I swear to you, there was never a problem in the 4 months I lived up there. I would go up. I didn't even drink. And I would chip in for beers, never a problem. Everybody liked each other. I liked the Louisiana guys. I liked the guys from Mankato. I loved fucking whatever, the fucking Hall brothers, Kip and his buddy from Chino. We were all tight. One Saturday night, and I remember this like it was yesterday, but I remember the story the other day because I was just thinking about karma being served and how our lives work out. One Saturday afternoon, we're sitting there. I don't know what we all did. And we all met up there about 6 o'clock. And we're just hanging out, having a good time, talking shit, basketball, football, whatever. Whatever 20-year-olds do. And a car pulled up. And it was this guy, Doug, and another white dude. But at that time, it was employee housing. So there must have been 15 people in the house. And like 8 of us or 9 of us outside. And Doug and his fucking friend, whatever his name was, I still remember what the guy looked like, get out of the car. They were too cool for school. They walked past us and went into the fucking house. So we had like a tub, like those metal tubs, and every night, whatever you showed up with, they just put in the tub, and then Carl will get ice from the fucking ice machines, and we just cover it up. Whatever was in there, wine coolers, beers, whatever the fuck they had in there. Some nights there was 50 beers, some nights there was 80 beers, some nights there was 6 beers. So on this particular night, there's like fucking 50 beers. It's like 6 of us hanging out, talking shit, doing bong hits. My feet are in the fucking jacuzzi maybe. And Doug and his buddy come out, And they're like, hey guys, how you guys doing? And they used to hang out at a bar called the Woody Creek Tavern. They were like two dirt merchants, you know, like we didn't hang out at those. I used to go to Woody Creek just to get weed with my buddy Cato. I forget what his last name is. Cato, that's what we used to call him. I forget what his real name was, but his street name was Cato. So these two guys come over and it starts off fine. We're talking, they drink their beers. They say, can we take another one? Carl goes, go ahead, man, help yourself. They take another one. And then out of nowhere, they go, all right, we're going to leave. And the guy that was with Doug, kind of like said, we're going to leave now. And he went, and he spit like, I don't know, it didn't come off right. And then he took 2 beers, gave them to Doug, and he took 2 beers. And as they were walking away, Carl goes, oh, where you going with those fucking beers, man? You didn't even ask for them. And the guy turned around and he goes, hey, fucking redneck man, I don't have to ask for fucking beers. You know, I'm just taking them. I thought they were there. He goes, no, but I'm telling you to put them down. And the guy goes, well, since you said it like that, I'm not going to put them down. Now, I didn't know what everybody's ability was in there. I knew I was a little nuts. I knew the one guy from New Orleans had broken some guy's arm like a month earlier in Aspen. He was like a judo guy, and he just broke the guy's fucking elbow and threw him up. So I knew the judo guy was a badass motherfucker. I knew nothing about Carl. Carl was 6'1", lanky, big hands, big knuckles. But Carl was nuts. Like
me.
He
the one that said something?
He's the one. He's the one that said, hey, bring back the fucking beers. Where the fuck you guys think you're going? And the guy was like very disrespectful. He's like, what the fuck is your problem, redneck boy, or some shit? He goes, I'm taking the fucking beers. And Carl looks back at him and goes, I'm telling you, put them down. Put them down. And the guy goes, I ain't putting shit down. He goes, I'm only going to put them down to knock you the fuck out, or something like that. And Carl goes, you want a fucking problem, motherfucker? So half of us get out of the tub. Vince, his brother, comes out and goes, what's going on? I go, you know, so we all go over. The guy's got the 2 bottles in his hand. And he's like, what, you really want a problem? And Carl goes, I'm going to tell you to put the bottles down. Again, the guy goes, I'm telling you, I'm taking these with me. He didn't even say with me. And Carl threw a punch that I had only heard once before that was that loud. Dog, he hit him so hard that when the guy's face turned, whatever he had here, hit the floor like 3 feet away. He busted his fucking head with his hands, guys. I mean, there was just an explosion of fucking blood. The guy went down like Tom Segura. Remember how Tom Segura landed on his arm and shit? The punch just went pop, and the guy just went boom, and he fucking just dropped, hit his head, and then Carl took the beers out of his hand. He goes, I told you were going to put the beers down. And he took the 2 beers out of his hand, and he goes, Doug, put the fucking beers down. And Doug goes, I'm going to put these beers down, but what you did, you weren't right what you did. He goes, what did I do? He goes, the guy threatened me, and I stuck up for myself. And that's when his brother goes, yeah, Doug, I think he got the wrong fucking bunch of guys here tonight. You know, I saw the whole thing go down. He threatened my brother, and he called him a fucking redneck and all this shit. Put the fucking beers down. And Doug goes, we'll see how tough you motherfuckers are. I'll get yous back. So we laugh at it. They had one of the fucking tourists had to come down and put a turban around the guy's head. The guy was bleeding profusely. They had to pick him up into the fucking car. And we all went in the tub like we don't know nothing. Cops came like a half hour later, and they asked what happened. We're like, we have no idea. The guy must have been drunk when he fell from skiing. Nobody do nothing. Now, it was a Saturday. Sundays was our big day. Sundays, we used to fucking meet at the Snowmass. There was a Snowmass club. It was like a big fucking gym that I was a part of when I was a volunteer fireman. I think I told you about that story on the church. We won't go into it. But they had a big, huge property. You didn't know I was a volunteer fireman?
I don't remember that. I listen to all the churches.
Let's not get into that one.
Let's save that for next week.
So every Sunday we would meet at like 10, maybe 9:30. Me and the New Orleans boys, the Mankato boys, Carl, Kit. It was a bunch of us. And we play 2-hand touch football. 2-hand touch, that's it. Real gentlemen. Everybody had a good time. And then we'd go by the New Orleans boys, and they would make like a gumbo, or they would fucking fry catfish up. This was just a dream. I was just a kid out of Jersey. I had never been to Colorado. I had never had friends like this before. But every fucking weekend we did the same shit. Once Friday came, Friday night we all went to the same. And there was no cocaine involved. You didn't hear me say nothing about coke. I wasn't doing these. I was doing coke, but these guys didn't know I was a thief and that I snorted coke by myself. These were just great guys. And we were all young, and we were all just having a good time. So on Sundays, we'd play fucking two-hand touch football, and we got so good at it that we became a team, and then we would play like the guys from the Conoco gas station from Old Snowmass. We would play some guys from Basalt. We would play some guys from fucking Aspen, from restaurants. It would be like Snowmass. So this went all the way up to, we started doing this like in August, and we went all the way up to, I think in November. It got too cold. It started snowing. But every Sunday we'd do this. And then sometimes after we played football, we would just go into the back with trucks and go shooting. Everybody had guns. The Mankato boys were hunters. They would hunt deer, and the New Orleans guys, they weren't from New Orleans. They were from Monroe, Louisiana. I'll never forget these motherfuckers. And they were into shooting. So sometimes we would play football, take our guns afterward, and go behind Snowmass. Like there was just acres and acres that you could drive in deserted roads, and we'd just set up targets, and all of us would shoot shotguns, and he would let me shoot his shotgun. I would shoot his double barrel. He would let me shoot like whatever. So it was pretty interesting. It was just a bunch of young guys, and we were having a fucking blast. Nobody was fighting. There was no sex. Nobody was fucking nobody else's girlfriends. It was just kids having a good time. And then this fucking Saturday night, this happens with this fucking jerk off. All right? So we forget all about it. We get up the next day, we play football, and we go shooting. So we got our guns with us. But instead of going back to Louisiana that day, we were getting fish, and we were going to grill them on the grill up by the Crestwood, by the employee housing, and we were all going to hang out over there. We didn't even, I think it was mentioned one time about what happened the night before, that fucking Carl had knocked out Doug's friend. Nobody really got into it. So we're all sitting by the jacuzzi. We got guns in our bags. My guns don't like the car. Like I was with somebody else who had a car. I like to say it was Mike Roebuck, but I'm not sure. And all of a sudden, 4 cars pull up. And it's Doug, the dude with the fucking turban that Carl had knocked out. The reason why I said he went down like Tom Segura is because he had a broken arm too. He landed on his elbow or something happened. But he had a broken arm, and they got out of the car. He didn't have nothing, the guy, but Doug and all his friends had sticks and shit. Fucking sticks and shit. And fucking, they're like, we're going to fuck yous all up. Blah, 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 blah. And then Vince came out, and we had like 10 people in the house. All the New Orleans kids were there, and half of the Mankatoans were there. So we all just rose, and we go, you want to fucking fight, motherfucker? We'll fucking fight. And Vince goes, I don't know what this is about. All I know is that last night I witnessed you try to bully my brother, and then my brother knocked you the fuck out, fucked you up, and now you got the balls to come back here and start more fucking problems? Well, look what we have here. Do you really want to fucking do this? Or do you just want to bang it out? Well, the one guy goes, well, I'm his brother, and I just want to crack at your fucking brother. And Carl goes, fuck it, let's do it. I don't give a fuck if you're his older, his younger brother. I don't give a fuck. I'll knock you out the same way I knocked out your fucking brother. I'm sitting there going, holy shit. And we got guns, too. They don't know we got guns, but the New Orleans boys, they weren't scared of fucking pulling their pistols. So I'm like, this is going to get fucking ugly. The guy comes out. Carl gets out of the fucking jacuzzi. They wrestle for a little while. Carl gets on top of him, pounds him like 10 times. We pick him up. It's all over but the shout, right? So when all this was going down, I was kind of yelling. Like, I'm like, this ain't going to happen. I go, what should happen here, Doug? Doug was out of line. I was never too crazy about Doug. Let's get this out of the way. I like Doug, and like Doug was one of those guys that he was an acquaintance, But when everything was going down, they were going to beat Carl up. You're not going to hit Carl in front of me. And I got vocal with Doug. I go, Doug, you got some fucking pair of balls coming up here with these fucking guys. That's disrespectful. This is our fucking thing here. You came up here last night, started trouble, and now you're going to come back today and start more fucking trouble, Doug? And he's like, you know what, man? Maybe we should put our fucking gloves on. I never liked the Yankees too much anyway. And I'm like, let's fucking do it, bitch, you know? And before we got down, they broke us up, and the fucking, no, we're going to be cool. Carl had already beat the kid up. So Vince kept saying to him, you already got beat up. What's next? We beat up your grandfather. You know, like you already got beat up, you know? So take him in the fucking car and get the fuck out of here. A little argument. It was like 20 minutes of argument, and we all went our separate ways. But Doug kept saying, yo, New York, I'm going to be looking for you. And I kept saying, whenever you want to, bitch, right? You know, and I was a little scared. He had me by 5 years, you know, whatever. I'd never been in that position. I'm a little scared. I go home. I don't think about it. December comes, January comes, I come to New York, I fucking end up homeless, I'm here 18 months, I go to fucking Boulder, I'm in Boulder in 85, I head up in San Francisco, and now finally November of 86, this is 3 years from the time with the fucking karma. I go back up to Snowmass Village, I hook up with Vince and Carl, and I'm hooking up with the boys, and we're doing our thing. And one day out of the blue, I go, hey guys, what the fuck ever happened to Doug? And they're like, Doug, you mean Shotgun Doug? And I go, I don't know. Doug, the guy that came up that day and Carl smacked his friend around. They're like, you have no idea what happened with this fucking idiot.
Shotgun.
He's getting high with a girl one night. They're doing coke at a hotel in Snowmass. And I never got high with him. But supposedly he was one of those creepy guys when you got high with him. I never got high with him at all. Like I said, at that time I was doing coke. I just wasn't doing coke with them. Nobody really in my circle knew I did coke. I kept it a secret so I could rob everybody so they would never think it was me. So I go, yeah, Shotgun Doug. I guess that's what they called him, Shotgun Doug, the one that fucking Carl knocked his friend down. He goes, oh, that motherfucker was doing coke with a girl one night. And for you fact checkers that you find everything, please find this. Find this and post it. When I did the Ryan Sickle podcast, I told the story about the guy that shot the 4 kids, and somebody found the article for me in Boulder, and the Michael Bell article. Please find this article about Shotgun Doug, Snowmass Village, 85. So he's getting high with a girl. All right, the girl gets up, goes to the bathroom, or he got up and went to the bathroom. When he came back, he said there was more coke there than what there was. It was like 5 in the morning, and he's like all coked up, and he's like, man, there was more coke here before I went to the bathroom. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, we've been just doing coke. And he's like, there was more fucking coke there. You better fucking get the coke out or I'm going to fucking kill you. And the girl's like, what are you talking about? I didn't take your coke. The guy goes in the back room, comes out with a shotgun, puts it to the fucking girl's head. And he's like, give me the fucking coke back, you fucking bitch. I'm going to fucking shoot you. Well, somebody was walking by and seen all this going on. They dialed 911 and SWAT surrounded this fucking house. And he had the girl at gunpoint, like, give me more coke or I'll shoot the fucking girl. Like, that's what he was asking for. This is no joke, people. This is a true story. He held the girl captive until they brought him more coke. This is fucking insane. He kept yelling that the girl took his coke and blah, 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 blah. Finally, they fucking made him put his shotgun down. They arrested him and nobody knew what happened to him, including me. I don't know what happened to him. So what year is this, guys, that I'm telling you about? 85, okay? Right there, 86. Right there, I forget all about Shotgun Doug. All right? But I always knew I wanted to smack him in the face. I didn't like that Yankee remark. I'd never heard that before. I'd never heard somebody call me a fucking Yankee. So I was like, that motherfucker called me a Yankee. I got to get him back. So I asked people what happened. Like, he's probably in jail. He's probably dead and buried by now. But there's a thing called karma. And karma never fucking forgets. That's why I love you motherfuckers that think you get away with shit. You don't get away with nothing. I'm 58. And I've seen shit unwind. Like, I've seen people like Mike come up to me and say, Joey, we got to go beat up this fucking dude. He did this to me. And I'll go, don't. Give it a month or two. Watch what this guy gets himself into on his own. And sure enough, he gets fucking stabbed. And you're like, how did you know? Because you knew the direction he was going. And I've seen it 1,000 times. I've seen it 1,000 times. You don't have to call out everybody who crosses you, because eventually they're going to fuck themselves up. And then you can laugh in their face. And then you could fucking send them that tweet and go fuck your mother now, cocksucker, or whatever. You know, that's why you got to be careful when you rub shit in people's faces. You got to be, you know. So, I'm not thinking nothing about Doug, nothing. My life is going on. We're going to take you back to 1994. I did time. I got into comedy, and I went back to Jersey, 93, and I tried to get my life together after the divorce, and I tried to do some comedy. I got a job limo riding. You guys have heard this story. Now I'm back in, I go back October of 93, November of 93, I go back to Boulder, Colorado. I want to be a dad. I want to be a fucking father. I moved to Arvada first. I got a job at like Douglas Toyota, but I wanted to move to Boulder. I'm not a Denver guy. I'm a Boulder guy at the time. I don't know what Boulder's like now. This is at the time. So I finally get a fucking apartment in Boulder, and I'm hustling. I'm trying to make ends meet. And December comes along, and boom, I get a fucking, somebody's telling me that Jim Wheeler's looking for me. So I go, really? I call Jim Wheeler back. This guy always had a job for me. He calls me and he goes, Joey, I got a fucking perfect job for you. No suits, no ties. We're going to work at a car lot named Sprinkler Car Lot in Longmont, Colorado. He goes, I told the guy all about you. I told him that you could speak Spanish. He's going to give you a $5,000 advance, a $5,000 bonus, and he's going to give you a demo to come work here, and your hours are going to be 10 to 6, 6 days a week. I go, this is the perfect fucking comedy job. It's not even in Boulder, it's in Longmont. Between you and I, guys, at that time, I wasn't very proud of going to prison, so I kept it under the hat. I felt very out of place. I'd been out of prison 4 years, and I still hadn't told. Unless you knew me, I wasn't very open about that conversation. I kept that. I was very embarrassed at the time about it, and I had every right to be. I'm still embarrassed about it, but I did something with my life, so it's not as embarrassing as it was back then. But when you first come out of prison, I know for me, I was very embarrassed about it, and I wasn't as open as I am today about talking about anything. I didn't say shit to anybody about it. When Jim Wheeler called me, I go, Jim, is he going to check for felonies? And he goes, nah, don't worry about nothing. I'm going to get you a license. You're going to be fine. Because you need a license to sell cars only. You know, not only a driver's license, but you also need a sales license. And sometimes you can't get it if you have a felony. So he goes, don't worry about the license. I got you. So, boom, I go out the fucking Sprinkler. Finally, you know, I'm going to get some fucking financial help. You know, I mean, I was making ends meet, but this job would put me in the, you know, 4,000 to 6,000, 7,000 a month range, and I could really do comedy and really, you know, like this will really help me. I still got my nights to myself. This job meant the world to me. I fucking went there, elbows and assholes, brother. You know me, dog. I just don't talk the talk. I walk the walk. I sold 4 cars in 4 days. I made like 2,000 fucking bucks. First week, I think I made $2,800. Second week, I think I made like $2,400 selling cars. I mean, this was a great job. It was easy. It was for people that kind of had bad credit, so they paid a little extra financing, and you made money on the financing. It was going to be a perfect job. It was already like December 15th, and I had made $5,000, and I was going to go off, and this is it. This is going to be my sales job. I got myself a sales job. I got my comedy career going. Everything's going on track. Finally, Sprinkler decides to have a Christmas party. December 18th, December 17th, one of those days we're going to have a Christmas party. We're going to sell cars till 3, and then from 3 to 7 he's going to have it spread out, food, the whole fucking thing. I get there, everybody got t-shirts on, I think I sell a car, and all of a sudden we close down and we're about to have a party. And it's still cool out. It's still, 60 degrees out. It's Colorado. It's 60 degrees. In fact, it's so cool out, we're playing basketball. We're playing basketball. Bah, bah, bah. All of a sudden, more people kept coming. Like the Sprinklers party, more people kept coming. It's 1993. Who's at the fucking party? Who looks at me and goes, "You remember me, man?" I go, "Yeah. Shotgun Doug." And he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, man, don't call me fucking Shotgun." And I go, "All right, I won't say nothing." So now we're playing basketball and we're covering each other, right? I'm covering him, he's covering me, and I'm pretty fucking good in basketball. Even though by this time I'm 30-something, I'm not fat, I still got a few moves and shit. I'm taking him to the hoop, I'm out rebounding him. He's making little comments. He's saying, "Oh, you got good playing, learning how to play ball in prison." Bro, my blood pressure went up. 2,000 over 2,000. So I started calling him Shotgun Doug. Shotgun Doug. "Shotgun, what's the story?" And he's like, "Don't call me Shotgun." I go, "Well, then check your fucking words too." And he looks at me and he goes, "I can say whatever the fuck I want." I go, "Remember 10 years ago when you said at the car hall and your buddy's head almost flew off his fucking shoulders?" And he's like, "That was then, but this is now," and all this shit. And we're playing basketball. And I'm like, I can't lose this fucking job. I can't say nothing to this kid because I can't lose the job. But now the guy that owned the fucking place, whatever his name is outside also. And he's watching, we're playing 3-on-3. And he's watching us playing this fucking game. Bah, bah, bah. And finally the guy goes, "Yeah, Joey got really good in prison." And dog, I was never so fucking embarrassed in my life. I waited, and all of a sudden everybody goes, "Yeah, the game is over. All right, let's go inside and eat." And we all got dressed and shit. And, it was just your regular car lot with like a trailer. You ever see like they all have a trailer, like a metal trailer?
Yeah.
And fucking, Wheeler's my boss, Jim's there, and I love Jim to death. And we're all talking, we're eating, I don't know, pizza, whatever, Mexican food. And I'm so fucking pissed at Shotgun Doug because he ratted me out. He told everybody I'd been to prison. I was so fucking embarrassed. Plus, I still owed him a smack to the face from fucking 83 in the fucking Crestwood that day. So I look at him, I go, "Doug, you want to smoke a joint?" And he looks at me kind of weird. But he's a stupid fuck. Me, not knowing me, knowing I went to prison and whatever, knowing what we had just gone through, I wouldn't have smoked a joint with me. But he agreed. He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Let's go around the back so old man Sprinkler don't see us." I get him around the back. I go, "You ever say anything to anybody about me going to prison again?" He goes, "Fuck you." I grab him by his ears like I grabbed a dude in prison who had the long hair, dirty hair. I grabbed him by the fucking back of the ears and I pounded his head against that fucking trailer like 20 times until fucking Sprinkler came running out with Jim Wheeler. Jim Wheeler grabbed me off him. Sprinkler grabbed me off him. Shotgun Doug was crying. He was fucking crying. I go, "Yeah, now don't call, you were fucking telling people I went to prison. How's it, I told you not to tell people. How does it feel now, motherfucker?" And he's like, "Well, fuck you. You were calling me Shotgun." I'm like, "But I didn't mean it like that. I just thought that's what they called you. I didn't mean it like that." But you know what, man? As I was walking away, like I looked at him, and I'm like, "You know what? Fuck this punk. Karma just got served." I got fired. The fucking guy came up and was like, "You can't raise your hand there on my lot. I'm going to have to fire you." He's like good friends with me. And I told him, I said, "Bro, it was just a misunderstanding. There was no customers. He didn't know who he was talking to." It took me fucking 10 years because I was still mad at him from that night when he called me a fucking Yankee. I had never heard that expression before. I'm like, "What the fuck is a Yankee? I never heard that before. Like, we don't like you fucking Yankees." So it took me 10 fucking years almost to the date It was like 10 years and 2 months from the time he called me fucking Yankee to the time I banged his head off the trail. I lost my job. They paid me. I didn't go to jail.
Why was he? How did he get invited?
He was in the car business. When he got out of prison, the car business. When you go to prison and you get out of jail, and you really are a human being, like you really need to work, the car business is 9 out of 10 the only place that'll take you. And you can make $100 grand.
Cooks. You know.
Yeah, he was working for a wholesaler. Since we sold cars retail, he was working for a wholesaler, and that's how he ended up in this fucking party. But it's a small fucking world, brother. That's why you never know. That's why don't get pissed. Be patient, and you never know.
They call him Dumbo Doug.
Yeah, now they call him whatever Doug. Fucking poor Doug. I banged his head like 20 times off that fucking wall. That's when I was fucking buck wild, too. Anyway, that's my story about karma, and that's Uncle Joey's Joint Tuesday, January 27th. Listen, we made another fucking month, man. That's all I'm happy about. January's done. January's behind us. Next time I'll see you guys is February fucking 1st. I love you motherfuckers. Have a great weekend. And now for a word from our motherfucking sponsors. Stay black. All right. Thank you for listening and taking the time out to hang out with me and shit. The fucking month is almost over, but we're here. We're here like the fucking mailman. I deliver no matter what. The Joint is brought to you by Bluechew. Listen, this fucking pandemic got people down, and half the people don't even know why they're down. They're sexually frustrated. You got to go out and get yourself a little piece. You got to go out and fucking swipe to the left and meet a nice girl. And when you do, you got to show up and make sure all the goods are in place, right or wrong. You can't show up with a dick that's 3/4. You haven't performed in a fucking year. So that's where Bluechew comes in. Uncle Joey's got you covered with The Joint. The Joint is brought to you by Bluechew. Why? Because it's fucking tremendous. You're going to show up and take that dick out. That's the stimulus check all these freaks been waiting on. Nobody wants to have a dead dick. Even me at 58. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. I got to pop a Bluechew, and it works tremendously quickly, effectively, no fucking side effects. The next day I'm at the gym working out. I'm not huffing and puffing. It's the same FDA-approved ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. And listen, you're going down to a liquor store, you're going to some fucking store and buying shit. That's not going to help you out. Bluechew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't got to go to the doctor's office and wait online at a fucking pharmacy like a mook. It gets shipped right to your house, discreet in the pouch. Nobody knows what it is. It's between you and you. Even the fucking mailman don't know what's in there. And Bluechew is cheaper than a pharmacy. And you could take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. You could sling dick in the daytime, sling dick at night, and it's all you. Bluechew, right now, they got a special offer for the family. Visit bluechew.com. That's blue, B-L-U-E, chew.com, and get your first shipment free. Joey, what are you talking about? It's the first of the month and you're free. You're only going to pay $5 for shipping. Okay? And again, that's blue like the color of a fucking face. You ever given somebody a stabbing with some good dick when you were like 20 and they're like fucking passing out like that's how you're going to show up with Bluechew. Is that the dick you want to give, or you want to give that same old dead dick that you've been giving out and you can't even get a fly to hang out with you? You know what I'm saying? Get to bluechew.com right now. Use code Joey and they're going to send it to you. They're going to send you the first shipment for free. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's bluechew.com/Joey. The Joint is also brought to you one of my favorites. Listen, cleanliness is next to godliness, all right? You want to hang out with Jesus, you can't smell like 10 dead fucking Arabs. You got to show up with a fucking good game. And your ball sack has to be tip-top magoo. Yeah, the big game is February 7th. The Super Bowl, you got Tampa Bay against fucking Kansas City. But the real Super Bowl is Valentine's Day. That's the Super Bowl. That's where you shows up with your fucking balls and put them in somebody's mouth. But first, you got to trim them first. You got to trim the cobwebs, the spiders. It's been a fucking cold pandemic. So let my friends at Manscaped treat you with a package like the gift that it is. And give your lady something to unwrap. Besides getting stuck in all the fucking pubes and cobwebs and fucking malukia balls and the leftover exhumed from your fucking asshole, Trim your balls used to be scary. But with Manscaped, you can fucking do it with the lights out. You know why? Because it's even got a little light in the front. An LED light to guide you. You could trim your balls in the fucking dark. You understand me? That's how easy it is with Manscaped. You grab your fucking dick, you shave around your fucking dick pole, because if you want the tree to look bigger, the grass around it has to be trimmed. And then you get each nut individually, and you trim them nice. Nice. Smooth, like a baby's ass. And you get it all with the Performance Package. That's a package I run with. Right here. The Performance Package comes with a leather fucking bag. That's tremendous. Alright? Plus you get the Lawnmower 3.0. Fucking the best hands down or anywhere. They got the advanced skin safe technology that you won't nick or snag your nutsack. Plus they throw in a little crop preserver here to keep your fucking balls nice and smelling tight. And to tighten them up, you got the crop fucking reviver. Oh my God. You ever look at your elbow, you're like, what the fuck is that? Then you look at your nutsack, it looks like an elbow, only 10 times worse without the scab. That's what my nutsack looks like. You put a little crop revive on that motherfucker, tip-top magoo. It looks like a man's bald fucking head. I got 2 bald heads between my legs. Why? Because I fuck with manscaped.com/Joey. That's why. Get the complete package. Why fuck around? And they got a new cologne that's fucking tremendous. So your neck will smell good, your dick will smell good, your balls will smell good, everybody's smelling good. It's a good fucking festival all over the place. Right now, Manscaped is giving you 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/Joey. You're like, Joey, what the fuck are you talking about? That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/Joey. Who's better than Uncle Joey? Fucking nobody. And this year I got the petition. February 13th is International Trim Your Nutsack fucking day. That's it. Get the fucking card from Hallmark. Go to manscaped.com right now, press in Joey, and get 20% off of the package. The ultimate fucking package, Performance Package, which is fucking tremendous. You understand me? You got to be prepared. I want to thank Manscaped. I want to thank Bluechew. I want to thank DraftKings. Don't forget to look them up this weekend. NBA basketball, college basketball, fucking hockey. You got fucking on it this week. Tremendous Shroom Tech, the protein fucking chips now. And we also talking about CBD Lion, how much they've helped me with my fucking therapy. I want to thank all 5 of those companies. But most importantly, I want to thank you motherfuckers for making Uncle Joey's joint happen. Have a great fucking weekend. Stay black. I'll see you cocksuckers next week, whether here or Patreon. That's it. Take a hike.